Well, so many things happening so fast in the nation. It's still Independence Week, yes, and well, this morning we're joined by Mr. Robert Clarke, SAN. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Got some responses also yesterday. They also did say it was very insightful. Some of your comments yesterday about the goings on in the society, such that they only do hope that a lot of young people will connect with that. But they seem to ask, even if we were to take the steps to correct all of this, how easy is it going to be or difficult?
I can assure you no human being can ever correct anything at the same time. What we can do is first to appreciate that we have problems and then see how we can individually first look how we can pick on the most important problems and see how we can solve them. A step in time will surely give the desired result. So I am suggesting that we first identify what is the problem in Nigeria. The problem in Nigeria are twofold: our system of governance and corruption. And it is the system of governance that has bred the corruption. So these are the two problems, that if we can solve the two, all other things shall fall into it.
And if you, maybe you should also be able to let us know what kind of system of governance you're talking about here now.
You see, politics is life. Partisan politics is different from politics. All human beings are political animals. But those who participate in it are the partisan politicians. It is the system in which the politicians now find themselves that is wrong. 80% of the money Nigeria makes every day goes into sustaining the system of governance in this country.
80%?
80% of what Nigeria makes out every day goes to sustain the system of governance. It should not be so. The sustenance of system of governance should not take more than 35%. In Nigeria, it is 80%. What then does it mean? We don't have time to plan for any capital matters. No schools, no road, no light, no electric, no nothing. Because you have to pay civil servants, you have to pay public office holders, you have to pay civil servants, chairmen of local governments. By the time you pay all these salaries, and within the system of politics we run, each of our political parties are being funded from government money through the politicians themselves. So you find that 80% of what Nigeria gets every day goes to maintain that system.
How has it always been? Because yesterday on the phone you told us you were there when the Union Jack was lowered.
Yes.
Well, that's quite historic and great. But
I was 22 years old then.
Wow. So after that moment, perhaps we started our own system of government. So can you compare and see what it was like then to what we have now, that you say 80% of what we have is plowed into running such government?
Yeah, I can boast of this, that I have seen it pre-election, pre-independence governance. I have seen first independence governance. I have seen military governance. I've seen the Second Republic governance. And I'm seeing now the so-called Third Republic governance. I can assure you from my experience, this is the worst since 1999. This is the worst system of governance we have. We have had a presidential system of governance during Shagari's time. We had it for 5 years. I was lucky to be an advisor to Shagari legally. I participated in electoral processes. I did election petitions all over Nigeria. And I was able to interact with some of these people. The system of governance was not as high as this. What we are seeing in Nigeria today is that Mr. President cannot tell you how many advisors he has. He cannot tell you how many special advisors he has. I can assure you cannot even name 20 of his ministers off head. The same thing with the governors. And believe you I, each minister has special assistants. Each special assistant has another special assistant. And these people
do they all get paid?
They all get paid. Nobody works for free in Nigeria. Not only do they get paid, they also make sure that they have hangers-on politically, whom they also have to pay. So where does the money come from?
Is that because of the system of government? By that I mean, is it because we run a democracy, or is it peculiar to the type of federalism that we run?
Look, don't let us deceive ourselves. We have no democracy in Nigeria. What we are running in Nigeria today is a civil form of government. We had the military system of government. Today we have a civil form of government. Democracy means the entrenchment of institutions. That is lacking in Nigeria. We have been running a civil government since 1999. We have not till today entrenched any, system of government. The police is still subservient to the governor, subservient to the president. The EFCC is still subservient to this. We have not entrenched the institutions we have to make them independent so that we can feel the effect of democracy.
But I thought they said it's a process that we almost getting there, because they say we try to build stronger institutions, and for some they say it's not about the individual that should be there. We're not talking about building stronger individuals, but building stronger institutions, and we thought we had started that process already.
If anybody tells you we've started a process of strengthening institutions, he's telling you lies. Let me take you aback. The board of SEC 3 months ago sat down. That is the whole board established by law, and says, you, madam, we have done an internal inquiry outside the external inquiry being done by the House of Reps. We find you wanting. Please step aside. Now, the presidency came back and said, you must reinstate her. How are you strengthening the system of democracy when the people who have been put there to overlook this particular department have taken it? These are just one out of the iceberg. So we are going back every day where the whims and caprice of an individual in Nigeria overturns the system of governance. Political system that we are running today, it's too expensive. That is the presidential system. We should have a system where you and I can decide to go into, government activities on a basis of not how much we are going to get from it.
But how did we get here? Because it's not this present administration that chose to run that system. Constitutionally, I'm quite sure that's what is there in the Constitution.
Look, let me be honest with you. We derailed in 1979. We derailed in 1978. The system of governance in Nigeria was the parliamentary system. When Obasanjo came in as the military head of state, he set up the 50 wise men. The 50 wise men, Awolowo decidedly withdrew from the 50 wise men. People thought it was a personal reason, but I had some interactions because he was then a practicing lawyer and we were doing 1 or 2 cases together then. And he told me that why he decided to remove himself from the 50 wise men is that he was too sure at the end of the day a form of system of governance was going to be imposed on them. The committee came out with a parliamentary system of governance. But the then military government imposed a presidential system on us.